Tell me about it. What did you do today anyway?
I drew a rose with a little pin-up girl on it. And I put up these nice lights behind me.
How trad of you, and having a little bit of your old job. Right, okay. Welcome to the first episode of I Hurt Everywhere. Thank you guys for coming in. This is an introduction episode to the podcast, obviously with some stories that we would love to share with you. Some stuff that we've had written in recently, but we wanted to take this opportunity to explain what the podcast is about.
Yeah, like introduce ourselves a little bit.
Yeah. So, do you want to go first? Should I go first?
You go first, Mr. Famous.
Okay. Right. My name's Mike Stockins. I'm a tattooer. I've been tattooing for about 15-ish years. Could be more, could be less.
Yeah, it's around there.
It's around that time, yeah. I own a shop with my brother, Chris Stockins.
Shout out, Chris.
Shout out to Chris. Called Legacy Tattoo, and it's based in Haverhill, Suffolk, and that's in the UK. Father of two, husband of one. That's nice. Weird to say. Yeah. And give you over to Joe.
I am Joe. I have been an apprentice for almost a year now, I think, coming up. Mm-hmm. Been tattooing for maybe 7 months, I would say.
Has it been that long?
I think so, yeah. I think I started maybe January or February I started. Yeah.
Life's going quick.
Man, it goes so fast.
We spent a lot of time in here in that time.
Yeah, like we were doing
stuff.
The apprenticeship over there, and then like finishing work, coming into here, building this place. It's been a crazy few months.
I'm so glad that's all over.
And it's so weird to sit in here now with like everything ready.
Yeah, cameras rolling, action, lights behind us.
It feels like yesterday that I was like running through the wall that was like in between where we are now.
Yeah.
Pretending I was the Kool-Aid guy.
So, do you want to get into more about your background?
So, before I came to the shop, I was an electrician for maybe 14, 15 years. And I hated it. I hated getting up in the morning at 4 o'clock. And, driving all across the country.
Mid.
So mid, man. And I've always had like an artistic background, and it was something that we'd always spoken about, me coming to the shop and like doing an apprenticeship. But it was one that like I never thought you were as serious about it as I was. When you would say it to me, it'd be like this big dream for me. Like one day I could go and do that. And then I think I'd got to a point where I felt stuck being an electrician forever, and I was like, something needs to change. And that was when like we were playing basketball and we really spoke about it. And he was like, if you can show commitment, get like a good portfolio together.
Yeah.
And because we said like in the next 6 months, get a portfolio together and then show me.
I was like, this guy is serious. He won't be back.
And I was like, I'm fucking serious. You wait till you see this portfolio.
I knew you were serious. I needed to sniff it out though.
It was when I got busted signing up to your Patreon. I didn't want you to know about.
I was like, oh, maybe he is serious.
Yeah.
Spending £5 on Patreon. He must be serious. So we're also in the room with Jimmy, and Jimmy's been holding back laughing already. You can laugh out loud. It's fine. It's probably better for the viewers because they might be like, I don't know whether to laugh or not.
I'm like the laugh track.
Yeah, that's fine because you were kind of like. Jimmy is also an apprentice in the shop and a long-term friend of mine as well, you know.
You've been in the shop quite a while now as well, haven't you, Jimmy?
Yeah, I've been getting tattooed by Mike since I was 18, so
yeah,
well over 10 years now.
Jimmy's the sound guy, but he'll also be in an episode. He'll be in episodes because we'll get on to the reasons why. Then that kind of leads us on to a good reason why, right? So the idea for the podcast. So the idea for the podcast is we want this to be kind of like an open platform, safe space for people to come listen to, maybe put this on in the background while they're drawing, hear some information about what it's like to be an apprentice,
Yeah.
and also what it's like to be a mentor. This isn't a one-way street
it's
thing.
a good way of showing like both sides of it
Yeah. It's a documentary. It's not.
into our lives.
Yeah, it's not. So this is going to be conversations between mentor and apprentice, some that you might not hear usually.
Yeah, it's quite. I think we can have conversations that can be quite intimidating for people to have. The people that maybe don't have the background we have, because we've been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
So I don't mind sitting down and having these awkward conversations with you.
Yeah, sure.
But I understand as well, because even sometimes in the shop, like you ask me to do something and I won't quite understand, and you get that feeling like you're going to look stupid.
Yes, and that's the thing is that with learning, there's always that moment where you feel like if I say something, I'm exposing myself. But
Yeah.
what are you exposing? Because you're not meant to know
Yeah,
everything.
I'm here to learn.
Yeah, exactly. But I get it. There's that moment where you feel like, but if I do say something, he's going to think I'm a complete idiot. You
Yeah.
know, I used to get that with conventions. When I used to go to conventions, when I first started tattooing, I would be really careful what I said to people at the hindrance of me learning anything.
Yeah.
You know, and which was so silly now thinking about it, because as I said, I hindered my progress by just asking that one question.
Yeah.
The industry was very different then. People were very reserved with it. And I did get met with a lot of closed doors for a lot of time. And I think that's where this podcast has come, actually, from that experience, especially with myself of coming into an industry and it being very doors shut.
Yeah, it was so closed off from
Yeah.
the outside world.
And I get it. I get the idea that there's some things that need to be reserved, and there's reasons why. But that's also for this podcast as well. We're going to be going into, the history and kind of educating people on why you should be respecting a tattoo apprenticeship position.
Yeah.
You know?
And I looking into the history of some of the traditions and why people want to protect that so much. They don't want to lose that part of tattooing.
Researching that together was really fun.
It was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I learned so much stuff.
Yeah. So
I
that
really
stuff coming
enjoyed
out
that.
is going to be, it's going to be nice. So once we get all that put together, and I guess we're going to be going from the angle from different parts of the world, because we're going to have plenty of guests that are coming on. We've got loads lined up.
Yeah. So some people I'm really excited to meet as well. People that you've always spoke like really highly of.
Yeah.
And I've only ever heard like stories about them, and now they're coming and I get to sit down, like chat to them, pick their brains a bit.
Yeah. And we can see what, I've traveled a lot with tattooing, but what I know is that around different countries is different. It is different.
Yeah,
It's
completely
even down
different
to
cultures.
a little bit. Different cultures, they're going to teach people in different ways. There might be different morals for tattooing there. There's definitely different hygiene levels, down to that kind of stuff. And even down to ways where people like try and heal tattoos or their information on that. And you get there and you go, oh, I never would have thought about that.
Yeah.
I go to a tattoo shop and they spray like alcohol-based stuff on tattoos. And I'm like, I would never have done that. But they swear by it, and all that. And you see their work come in the shop and it's great.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know,
Yeah.
Like,
Miss me with that bit. I don't want
imagine
that.
finish the day and then they don't care.
The old stinger.
Yeah, the old stinger. Get you with the stinger at the end. But these guests coming on, obviously well-established artists that are going to come and sit down and share their knowledge. And a great way to see that insight as well. So we've done the history, but I think the main thing for this podcast is, we want people to have fun. You're going to have a long day being an apprentice. You don't want to be moaned at about what it is to be an apprentice, or here's 5 steps to becoming the best apprentice. You just want to put something in the background where you're going to hear some information. You're going to hear some stories. You're going to hear some
crazy
advice,
stories.
maybe, some crazy stories. That kind of brings us on to what we're going to be doing today. But before that, I just want to talk about our Patreon page before.
Yes.
because this is going to be a great way to get a lot of these questions over. You could join the Patreon page. It's up now. I mean, we'll put it in the description or however you want to see it. But if you're just listening, the Patreon is just I Heard Everywhere podcast.
Podcast, yeah.
So what we're going to be doing with the Patreon, obviously it goes to helping pay for...
Yeah,
know?
it helps us keep putting episodes out.
Yeah.
Just keep the podcast running. Keep the platform open for everyone.
Yep, keep the platform open for everyone. There's going to be portfolio reviews, live stream Q&As.
Yeah.
So the idea for this podcast is like, we're not going to be teaching people anything, okay? So don't get that twisted for this, for the part of it. We are going to be having conversations, yes. Having advice, yes. But for the platform stuff that goes out everywhere, we are not going to be giving tattoo apprenticeships out verbally.
No, that isn't what this is.
No, that will be impossible and not very ethical for someone to just go and do whatever. So, but for the Patreon, you can go up to the Patreon and there'll be the opportunity to ask some questions with me if you're an artist and you want some information about stuff or whatever.
Yeah. Or if you need DIY or electrical advice, hit your boy up.
Hit your boy up.
I can help you.
Yeah. And the big thing on there is there's priority messages for messages from apprentices. So you've probably seen that online. People will get priority access to that. And there is going to be some big giveaways from sponsors.
Yeah, huge giveaways there.
Yeah, which is nice. It's nice for them to do that.
That way.
So maybe some stuff in the kitty for you if you're learning tattooing. You might get some cool stuff about it. So without any further ado, you'll probably come on to hear from some clickbait stuff we posted online about this crazy story that we have lined up for you.
I can't wait.
Thanks for listening to our intro part anyway. And we're going to start with the messages from apprentices part. So this is a crazy story, okay? And when I say crazy, you're going to have to hang on to your seats.
When we were going over this in preparation, I was like, this cannot be real.
Yeah.
This is not real life. But it's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah. We have some stuff set up. We've done a lot of research. And we also have some voice clips just to kind of set the scene of what is going on so you can understand why this story, my boss, the serial killer, is so crazy. Even the intro is crazy.
The title. Oh,
the title is
it.
crazy. My boss, the serial killer. Right. Okay. So this message, I'm going to be reading some things now. So this message come from a tattooer. He's talking about his apprenticeship. He's not an apprentice anymore, though. Okay. He's moved on from all of this. But what a crazy story. So this message is from a tattoo artist called Brian Finn, and his Instagram handle is @theEchoWitch.
Shout out to Brian. Go check him out on Instagram.
Shout out to Brian. He's a tattooer at Ink and Iron in Toledo. Was it Toledo? Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah, I think so.
Toledo, Ohio. Right. And actually, I've got some of his work. Do you want to see it?
Yeah, I want to see it. Yeah, nice.
You want to see it? Okay, cool. Let me just minimize some of the stuff. Right, here we go.
Yeah, nice. I'm into that. Nice trad
I knew
style.
you'd be into this, yeah. That's a nice color combo as well, keeping it like, pretty minimalistic, like a couple of colors.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
That gold.
Round edges as well. It's cool.
Yeah, that's nice. If Brian is listening, is that eternal gold? Bright gold or something like that? We'll see. We'll see in the comments, right?
Let us know.
Right. Number 2, you ready?
Oh, yeah, nice.
A nice little dagger lady with bitties out. Nice. Number 3.
Yeah,
This was us today in the shop.
Yeah, that's a bit of me.
You two today.
That's a bit of me.
Get rowdy, y'all. Tucker yourself on in. I'm missing a tooth. Yeah, get
Yeah.
rowdy. That's sweet.
I like that a lot.
Man, I wish I had more toes like this. On me.
I wish I was a cowboy.
Damn. Yeah, I wish I had more toes like that. I just love, you know, when you grow older and you're just like, I wish I just had like the just black tread,
Yeah,
you know?
it's timeless.
It's timeless.
Oh, nice.
Nice little space bat. That's cool.
That is really cool.
And then last but not least, crocodile.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't know what FO means. For oblivion.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, fuck out of here. Well, that's cool, man. Yeah, so shout out to Brian. So, this story that Brian has set in is mad. Brian reached out to us and has had a crazy background from his apprenticeship. Okay, well, this is a part of his apprenticeship. It obviously didn't go fully the way because of reasons you'll hear why. But Brian was 19, still looking for a way to get his foot in the door and get an apprenticeship. Like we all were at that time, struggling through, trying to do whatever it takes to get an apprenticeship, and boy did he.
Did he?
Oh, boy, did he. He came back to Ohio from California. So he was living in California, comes back to Ohio for a family visit. After a few days back at home, he decides he would go looking for an apprentice position in a tattoo shop. This is a local tattoo shop. And he was very surprised when he walked into a random street shop in a not so great part of the town.
Best place to look.
Best place to look. If you know, especially if you want to do trad.
Yeah, 100%.
You can't be learning in the high street in Shoreditch.
Nah.
No. Well, they do now, but you know, this is way back when, I'm guessing. So, and to his surprise, you know, not to his surprise yet, but he meets Ernest Otto Smith. So it's Otto Smith, right? It's because it's such an American name, isn't it? You never hear that name in the UK.
When we were looking over this, I was like, how do you pronounce that?
Yeah, I'm going to Otto Smith.
Otto Smith.
Ernest Otto Smith.
The third.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, maybe you could. If you add a third to it, you could be pretty British. And Ernest Otto Smith hires Brian basically on the spot. He asked Brian to draw a few panthers and a few skulls, and he was well on his way. Brian's apprenticeship, though, was pretty rocky, to say the least. Yeah.
Ooh.
And not rocky as in the films, because they're pretty good.
Yeah, like that always ends up pretty great.
Yeah, there's a bit of ups, there's a bit of downs, you know, but you're getting the belt.
There's a lot more ups than downs.
Yeah.
Like, apart from the whole like screaming Adrian at the top of your lungs, like every time you finish a toe.
With a face looking like you when you first got towed by me.
Yeah.
All beat up and bruised. Right. So it was kind of rocky. Brian recalls times with Otto. He had bought a paintball gun. Okay. So this is how rocky it's going to get.
Sounds like a well put together guy.
Well put together. He's, you know, he might just be into it, Joe. He might just be doing it at the weekend.
Really into paintball, yeah.
Really into paintball.
Like, I've seen those guys turn up at the paintball place when you go with like your friends using like the half broken guns, and then the dad squad turn up with fucking like M16s.
Yeah.
And you're like,
One's
okay,
got like
this is
NAM veteran on their badges.
Like, this is going to be so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so glad I had a drink last night. Great. But no, it wasn't for R&R. It was so he could shoot him and the other apprentice that was working at the shop.
Imagine me and Jimmy there in the morning, like cleaning up, you like booting the door in, couple of paintball guns in each hand. Morning, boys.
Yeah. Love the smell of paint in the morning.
No, fuck that. I would be straight back to getting electric shocks every day. I miss me with that.
Yeah, you'd be like, hey, the electric work ain't so bad.
Yeah,
man.
well, like getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning seems okay.
Yeah, you know, at least I'm not fucking dying, you know. So he's shooting at him with paintball guns. So from the get-go, this character is a little bit, you know, maybe he shouldn't be a boss, you know. And this is kind of what this podcast is about, right? There's people that do this, you know?
Yeah,
like
maybe shouldn't be managing other human beings.
he can barely manage himself. He can't
Yeah.
manage his own emotions if he's shooting someone with a paintball gun. And, you know, he could be doing it for a bit of fun. But come on. Like,
Yeah, like you can take banter too far.
yeah. If you're bleeding with those little holes, you know, when you get them.
Oh, yeah.
Man, my last birthday, when I had to run through the woods and everyone
mate,
shot
that
me.
was so bad.
Oh my God. It was so bad. It's the worst
That's
thing
like
ever.
instant guilt afterwards as well. I think I shot you like twice and instantly felt bad. And then, because there was another kid whose birthday it was as well.
Yeah. And everyone
And
just
I just
turned
like
on him.
looked over at him and I was like, sorry, but
Yeah. It's you or him, bro. Yeah, what a horrible experience. So yeah, he's just doing that for, you know, funsies. So he proceeds to take the paintball gun and shoot over their 20-foot ceiling. He tells Brian and the other apprentice to clean the whole ceiling or they're going to get fired.
I'd take the fire in. Well,
You take the fire and
yeah, okay.
just be like, oh, can't even get up there, bro.
Yeah.
Why has he got like a 20-foot ladder as well? To like,
Yeah, where are you keeping that?
yeah, what if you just be like, figure it out? You're just like, what? Shooting the ceiling. Imagine.
Rag on a stick.
Mate, you'd be pissed off if your boss just went like, had a coffee cup and just splushed it on the floor. He knew he was doing it.
Pick that
He
up.
just goes, pick it up. Pick it up, Jimmy. It's just 9 a.m. You're hoovering the floor and he just pick it up on the carpet. Oh. Let me get this hair off me. Right. So, Brian was told stories by Otto about his run-ins with the police. Now, you know, a lot of tattoo shop guys do this.
Some people tell like big stories, don't they? And you're kind of like, okay.
You're having a drink with them after work and they're like, yeah, I remember my days in prison.
Yeah.
Take me back. Oh, what'd you go to prison for? Tax evasion.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, obviously. But you know, I've been on guest spots and guys, they do for some reason they do the tough guy bit.
Yeah, everyone wants to tell you like their toughest story.
Yeah, their toughest story way back when I fought 11 guys, like a Bruce Lee movie.
I hate it when people do that because I've been in a few fights. I've been in plenty of fights and I never fucking win any.
Yeah.
All my fighting stories are just me getting my head kicked in.
Yeah, and there's not really a fight if you're not reciprocating in any of the winning, you know. So he shoots the ceiling. You know, he's doing all that. He talks about his run-ins with the police. But Brian also remembers a memory with Otto where they went to go see Kiss, but they were on acid.
Oh.
Kiss on acid. I don't know that. To me, sounds pretty
good.
cool.
Yeah.
But with the guy that shoots you
Yeah,
with the
the
paintball,
fucking paintball guy is taking you to see Kiss and giving you a bunch of acid.
and you drop the acid, and you know when it starts really waving in
Yeah.
it, this Otto guy just turns into a big paintball gun in the middle of the crowd.
He's there. Like,
Kiss is there.
Want to rock and roll all night.
And shoot you every day. Yeah, it would be crazy, okay? And he also remembers a time of watching a professional wrestling match together.
No.
And Otto getting up and challenging one of the wrestlers to a fight.
Standard wrestling behavior.
Standard. He's wrestling around.
Just the average wrestling fan sees that 6'4" 20-stone mountain of muscle and goes, I could fight that guy.
Oh, yeah, I've got him.
Yeah.
Watch this. Hold my beer.
Watch me take this guy out.
Yeah.
I just see him do a backflip, but I'll take him.
Imagine I'd be in the crowd and he'd be like, hey, yeah, I'm going to go fight. And I'm like,
Again?
Not this, please. So he tells him about his run-in with the police. And one of the stories was that Otto confesses to him that he kills a guy in a parking lot of a local bar accidentally.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Accidentally.
He sounds like the kind of guy who could like accidentally kill someone.
He would accidentally do a lot of things, I imagine.
Like he
accidentally rob this bank.
Accidentally shoot the apprentices with a paintball gun.
Yeah. So he confesses that to him. I can imagine from Brian's position, he's probably like, you know,
Yeah. Tall story.
yeah, you know.
How many people have you got into an argument with and they're like, I'm going to kill you?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
Yeah, you're like, you're not, but
Yeah.
okay.
I understand that you're angry.
Yeah.
Tone your language down a little bit, please.
She's my girlfriend now. Get over it. Yeah, so he's confessed to him this murder, essentially, which was accidental. But when you say murder, it's not accidental. You would say, I did a manslaughter.
Yeah.
Did a manslaughter. It was accidental. No, I did a murder. A murder is just one way.
Yeah,
Isn't
like you're doing the murdering.
The murder, that is bad. Bad. In my head, that's bad. You'd be like, oh, I accidentally killed a guy and got done for manslaughter.
Yeah.
You go, oh, damn. That's sorry to hear about that. What happened? No, I accidentally murdered a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, Otto. Right, so let's imagine that Brian didn't ever really believe him in these times, but he does go to mention that he was kind of scared of him by the way he kind of was acting.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I can understand that. I don't want to get he's going to be like getting the paintball gun out. You don't know he's going to bring something else in for the day, you know, like a medieval sword or something, you know. And he gets the feeling that Otto seems to like him. Otto even says to him, you actually care, and I like that.
Nice.
He says that about his tattooing. So he could see that Brian cares. So again, shout out to Brian.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brian pulling all the stops going through his apprenticeship. Of course.
This guy deserves a successful career.
Yeah.
After this.
If any style could escape a serial killer, it would be traditional tattooing.
Yeah, 100%.
It would be traditional tattooing.
The trad guy's making it out alive.
Yeah. Black and grey would be the serial killers. No. I'm joking. I don't know. I've seen some of those horrible.
You're about to start some fucking wars.
He goes on to say, you actually care. And I like that. What a nice thing that Otto said to him. But needless to say, Brian's apprenticeship was, quote, shitty. Quote from Brian.
Yeah, I see that.
I can see that, Brian. Brian ends up leaving the shop. Obviously, the situation was very toxic, and Brian needed to move on. Otto's behavior becomes more erratic during this time together. He ends up having to move far away because Otto threatens to kill him when he left. And we're going back to that thing. Yeah. You know, we know the end of the story. So now we're like, whoa, right?
Yeah.
But if some guy was like, I remember the guy in town, the guy that used to own this place, when I opened shop, he was just like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to break your
I remember
windows.
when he was like saying all that
stuff.
And
I'm going to come and smash your shop up. Did he?
Never saw him again.
Never saw him again. So you go, yeah, sure you will, bro.
Yeah. Like, how many times has someone told you they're going to kill you? You're just angry, man. Like, have a Snickers. Calm down.
Yeah, you're getting cut off on the roadside doing something. You've cut someone up because you're not looking, and they're like, fuck you, bro. They kill you. Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're not.
Get back in your Ford Mondeo, you dick.
Yeah. Oh, so he's leaving the shop and he gets threatened to kill him, but not just him. He threatens to kill his whole family. Right? Pretty heavy. Pretty bad things to say from someone who's trying to be an inspirational boss, to say the least. Okay. Brian was actually scared at that point. He said
I
that
can imagine like that's a real. It is like when we joke about it, but it's like a scary situation. To
yeah,
be in.
100%. Yeah.
Like it's probably scary enough, like leaving the shop, the build up to leaving that shop, because you can tell the guy's unhinged.
You know you're gonna say it.
like, yeah, and how's this guy going to react? And every part of your brain is going to be like, he's going to try and kill me. And then you're trying to reason with yourself, like, nah, I think you'd be cool. And then it goes the worst way possible.
Yeah,
where
you'd
he's
be like, oh, maybe he said
I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, you'd be like, remember he said that nice thing about me? Maybe be chill about it. But then he did try and fight that wrestler. And he did say he murdered that guy in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And now I'm questioning it.
Yeah, he did try to punch Stone Cold Steve Austin that one time.
Imagine that's it would make the story so much better if it was like the Undertaker.
Yeah.
He tried to attack. So he's like, this guy is unhinged, bro. He's trying to attack the Undertaker. Yeah, but like, put yourself in his shoes for a second. Like, you're right. Imagine going to the shop and you're like, today's the day. Like,
Yeah,
imagine
I've got to do it. It's now or never.
Have you ever broke up with a girl? You got to tell them?
Yeah.
And you get that feeling before you're like, oh no, this is going to be terrible.
Yeah.
And they're not violent.
Nah.
They're not.
Well, I've known some that, like, I've known some pretty fucking violent girls. Like,
Yeah, oh, yeah,
when
but-
you're going down there, you're like, I don't know if I'm going to come back with without a knife in my abdomen
Hey,
or
that's
something.
that's your type, though.
Yeah, I'm into that.
You like to
I
live on
need
the
that
edge,
in my life. Yeah, a little bit of danger.
the edge of a Stanley knife. So, but Brian's obviously scared from the way that he's acted in the past. You know, he's basing this communicational skills with this moment where he's going to come up to him and go, bro, you know, I'm out of here.
No more.
How are you going to reply? So obviously he didn't like it. And Otto also went on to say that, you know, I'm going to tell everyone that you have AIDS so no one will get tattooed by you. AIDS. Yeah. He was really going in. He was really trying to sell the whole no one's going to get tattooed by you thing and you ain't shit without me.
Yeah.
You know, sounds like I am, though, because if you're willing to kill my whole family and tell everyone I have AIDS, sounds like I got something good going on, you know, and you want it here.
Yeah.
So he obviously, and that conversation, you can never, you're not going to come back from it.
There's no like, sorry, mate.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, I was just
sorry.
joking.
I was really angry.
Yeah,
like,
I love your family.
I'm sorry. I said I was going
know.
to kill your mum.
Yeah, I love her. You know I love her, bro.
I've always loved her.
Yeah, remember we tried to get her to the Kiss concert. Like, yeah. So no one would get tattooed by him. But Brian found, well, no, that isn't true. Sorry, I was reading off the last thing so you don't get confused. He was trying to make it seem, you know, that he was in a bad place because he was getting people to not get tattooed by him, essentially, by spreading these malicious rumors. Brian found himself moving to Petersburg, Virginia, where he heard the news.
Dun, dun, dun.
The news
The big
from Brian's mum. She's not dead, folks. She's fine. She calls him, telling Brian that Otto was on the run. The police had found his van abandoned in Kentucky. Otto was on the run for killing a man in a hotel room. Yeah. Yeah. But it just isn't. That's not the end of it. Otto had made a female accomplice sleep with a guy for money, and he changed his mind. And he comes into the room and shot the guy. Right?
fucking crazy. Huh?
They both fled the scene, but Otto became paranoid about his accomplice. He took her into the woods, tried to break her neck before beating her to death with a tree branch. Yeah.
It's so bad.
Imagine hearing that news from the person that just said, "I'm gonna kill your
Yeah,
family."
the guy you've escaped, you've moved. Like, I'm not familiar with like the geography of America, but
Yeah.
you've moved a long way just to escape this one guy.
Yeah, and is your family still there? Is
Yeah.
that, I'd be freaking
The
out.
guy that was telling you he was gonna kill you, and he's gonna.
He's practicing.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
he's-
been training.
Yeah, he's out there practicing, bro. Yeah, that is absolutely wild, But he was found and arrested and is currently serving life without parole in Ohio State Penitentiary.
Shout out to Ohio State Penitentiary,
Yeah,
keeping the city safe.
keeping the boys in blue got your back there. Good on you. Get some more fences around that place. Right. So I want to just show you, because I found something. You haven't heard these.
I haven't.
I'm about to show you some voice recordings from this guy, Otto, right? Because it's not enough just saying the story. We need to see what this guy is actually like, right? These are people that are running tattoo shops. Like, he run a tattoo shop, right? And some of these stories are like, he's in the tattoo shop. He's also murdered in the tattoo shop. He confesses to killing 2 guys in a tattoo shop. And, one thing that he's passionate about is like, if he wasn't in prison, he would still be tattooing. That's his thing.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately, I don't think you should be able to do. But I just want to plug for a second, because this is, we've kind of taken these parts from a podcast called Unforbidden Podcast. So if you hear the audio, I am going to be talking about it and kind of reacting to it, telling you what he said, because some of the audio is very unclear. It's been played through like a phone at a prison,
Yeah.
But I just want to give you an idea of what this person's like. Who knows? This could have been an accident, like he said before. Could be an accident. And then it's just a misunderstood guy.
Accidentally done some
tattooer.
murders.
We're all misunderstood.
Yeah. We all make mistakes. We all like accidentally murder sometimes, don't we?
We accidentally do a lot of things, Maybe not the big M, but So yeah, if anyone wants to listen to the full thing and they're interested in afterwards, go to Unforbidden Podcast, and it's on there. If you put Otto Smith in there, I'm sure it will pop up. So here we go. I'm going to play some of the bits in here and then kind of transcribe them for you, Joe. If you can't hear this well. You ready?
He said the way you said it, he said, "I'm not worried about that gun. You're not going to shoot me, bitch." Blew his heart out. Simple as that. It blew his fucking heart out. Night, night, bitch.
Night, night, bitch.
Night, night, bitch. That's like some Freddy Krueger shit.
Yeah. So that's the guy he's talking about in the hotel room. He said the guy has said to him, "You're not going to shoot me," and he said, "Yeah, I am." And then just blew his heart out. That's what he said. I blew his heart out.
Night, night, bitch.
Night, night, bitch. Yeah. Like, has no remorse for doing that. Like, he's kind of saying it like he's in like an action film.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like an action movie, like tagline.
Yeah,
like Arnie holding the guy over the mountain. He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
You said you were gonna kill me last.
Yeah,
like, I lied.
Yeah. Or you can imagine he's like, kill someone with a pillow in a comedy scene, and then he says "night, night, bitch" or something, "night, night," and then hits him off the cliff with a pillow. Yeah, he's obviously got no remorse for this thing that he's doing. So I can't imagine he had any remorse when he was shooting with a paintball gun. That's low level for like people like Brian. So
playground stuff.
That's playground stuff, yeah. Like I can see why now the fear that he would have had, because you can hear
it like in his voice.
In his voice, he does not give a fuck, Right.
So I guess it was his pride, and he stood there and he said, I ain't worried about you. And it blew his heart out. And I'm not bragging about it or anything. I'm just being completely honest with you about it.
Sounds like you're bragging about it.
Sounds a lot like he's bragging, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not bragging to brag or put down my co-defendant either.
So that was him saying to the guy that the guy's he's not gonna go through it, and he does. He's like, I'm not bragging about it. But night, bitch.
I feel like when you you start something off by saying I'm not bragging,
you're bragging.
it's usually followed by a brag.
Yeah.
Big old brag.
Yeah. 100%. So
She made a joke as soon as it was done. We were driving back.
this is the girl. So the girl that he took in the car. This is what I can gather by the story. He's taking the girl and she's making a joke about the situation. So this girl is obviously an accomplice to it. She knows this guy. They're trying to cheat this guy out of money with a prostitution scam.
Yeah.
Basically, and it's gone wrong. He obviously has got a problem with it. He's come in the room. Boom, boom.
Well, she said, "Boy, you sure showed me how to handle that." I mean, she went towards where I thought her boyfriend lived, and if I didn't want to follow her, so I went to Toledo. Because if I'd have followed her, I'd have killed her, him. I'd have killed everything. I'd have killed his dog, his cat, his mom, whatever. Anything in between me and them, if I'd have caught them together, I'd have killed them.
Not the dog.
Yeah, not the dogs and cats.
Not the dogs, man.
Leave the pets out of this.
Yo. What a twisted guy.
It was fine until he mentioned the dogs and cats.
No. Don't you fuck with the dogs. It's like, no dogs and cats, bro.
John Wick, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Wick's going to come and get you. You fuck with the wrong dog, whole city's dead.
There were like 4 films that come out, all from what happened to his dog.
Yeah.
If they'd have left the dog alone, no John Wick.
It's a crazy thing because he's talking about like this part he's talking about the reasons kind of why he got into everything that he was doing. So he's going through a divorce.
Yeah.
And obviously the normal thing to do when you're going through a divorce is kill everyone.
Yeah.
In his mind, that's the normal thing to do. Right?
You kind of get like the idea from the tone of him speaking as like he's really enjoying explaining all this stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like he sounds super proud of what he's done.
This guy's been in solitary confinement. I don't know how long, but I think I remember him saying it was 7 years. But hey, they're probably like, he needs to be far away from people as possible. You know what I mean? He'll be unsafe to inmates. Like you'll hear in a minute, he does not care. Yeah. Like if you let him out, he doesn't care,
And she got more and more depressed. The house by the pond was doing really good. Sent me what she felt. New vehicles, old vehicles, go to Sturgis, bikes, whatever. And she, plenty of money. Everything's the best I've ever done in my life. Several businesses at one time. And she was always depressed about it. Didn't like it because her dad had been an engineer. That's the best way to put it. And, I could never measure up to him, I guess. And, but then again, part of me knows that I picked someone that I could never please. I just never pleased her,
So he's talking about his wife. He owns several successful businesses, one of them being tattooing, which was his main thing that he wanted, was the tattoo shop. And she's obviously struggling with a bout of depression. And he's obviously not the kind of person to sympathize with that when you're a psychopath, So I can see the struggle that she was having attaching herself to this guy.
Yeah.
And he's saying, I could never really live up to that. I'm like, bruh, maybe it's not that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's every time you go out on acid, you're trying to hurt someone.
Yeah. Yeah, stop killing guys.
Yeah. She must know about that.
Just...
Well, there is a part when he gets these guys in the tattoo shop, and she was there. She knows about it.
She knows he's been doing killing.
Shit, yeah, but think about it from her position. She's going to be like, Zup.
Yeah,
like he's up next.
Maybe she's tried to leave before.
Yeah, you couldn't leave.
He's been shouting at her, "I'm going to kill you. I'm going to tell everyone you got AIDS." And she's going, "This guy fucking will."
Yeah.
This guy. Yeah. This guy is legit.
Yeah, he's fucking. Yeah, I could see Brian's problem with that situation. Now I can see hers.
Like that. So when the breakup came, I'm mostly responsible for the breakup. But when the breakup came, that was my good reason to put somebody to sleep. I guess. Put a few people to sleep, and I did.
Put a few people to sleep.
Put a few people to sleep. I think a few people to sleep.
They're not sleeping, bro. They're...
Sleeping has an expiry date to the sleep.
Yeah.
You wake up.
Yeah.
from asleep.
The alarm clock goes off.
Yeah.
You're not sleeping anymore.
No. That annoying iPhone ringtone comes on.
Do,
You're up.
do, 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 do.
That ain't waking you up anymore. He's not talking about the same sleeping that we know and love. He's talking about killing people. And the way that he speaks about that, of it being like the idea of like, I just put them to sleep. That's not sleeping. Imagine handing your children over to him and going, oh, they go to sleep at 9. He's like, really? You want me to do that?
Yeah, 9? Both of them?
You would not want that guy anyway. If he can't even know what sleeping is.
Yeah.
You'd be like, no, not murder them. I
So-
want you to just put them to bed. And you go, oh, okay.
so-
Right, sorry, man.
So just
No acid and kiss?
No,
Nah.
no,
No,
bitch.
no. No.
It's part of what I do. I look for an emotional reason, something that'll help me go put somebody to sleep. And I'm not blaming my ex-wife or any of that. I'm not blaming anything. I'm blaming myself. So.
Sounds like you're blaming your ex-wife.
yeah, there was a good minute monologue there where you was blaming your ex-wife.
Yeah. And him saying he would looking for a reason, an emotional response reason to put someone to sleep. That could have been Brian, man.
Yeah.
Imagine if it went for that whole time he was going through his divorce. Say if the timeline was different, he was going through his divorce and he's at the shop sweeping up, getting his head down, trying to not do anything. And then he's like, do you
Dodge
know what?
paintballs.
Yeah. and then, he goes, I'm going to have to say, like, I'm not going to come. I'm not going to be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
That would have been the emotional response that he was looking for. That's how close he was to the edge of that part of sleeping. It's mad.
Hello. This is a prepaid debit call from an inmate at the Ohio State Penitentiary. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording.
That thing, imagine getting that call. You'd be like, oh, who's this?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
What's my brother done this time? Jesus.
What is going on? And they normally say their name, don't they? This is a collect call from Mike Stockings. You're like, fucking hell.
Oh, I've got to get up. I've got to drive, go pick you up.
Oh. You haven't been sleeping, have you? Doing the sleep thing.
I do believe I'm where I should be. I know that if I got out.
He's saying he knows where he should be, right? So what he's referring to there is him talking about himself in prison. Because to give some context about the podcast that we shouted out earlier,
Unforbidden Truth.
Unforbidden Truths.
Yeah. We'll do a little ping up.
Yeah,
Bring up
I will say it's kind of a weird podcast, right? Only because people can come in and they write questions to the serial killer, right? He interviews serial killers, right? And one of the questions was like, what's your favorite kill? Bruh.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? What's your favorite kill? Like, there shouldn't be a favorite.
Yeah.
Unless you're absolutely mad out of your...
Let's run through your top 5 kills. Come on.
Yeah, give me the best.
Yeah.
How did they scream? Like, what the hell? Yeah. So he's saying that he's exactly where he needs to be. So he knows himself. He knows that he's going to be in prison.
I do believe I'm where I should be. I know that if I got out and somebody pissed me off, I would kill again. Because I know me. I know my nature. And so if somebody pisses me off, I don't give a fuck. I stab them or chop them, whatever. I don't care. Because if you push my buttons, I'm going to get you. That's not the best way to put it.
If you push my buttons, I'm going to get you.
Yeah. He said, I'll just stab him. I'll just do whatever. If you come across him in any way, he's going to... So if there's any parole officers from Ohio State Penitentiary watching this...
Check that guy's podcast out, right? And then deny him parole forever.
Yeah. Make the fences a little bit thicker for our boy Brian.
Like a couple more wraps of barbed wire around the top.
Yeah, put the barbed wire in his cell.
Yeah.
Just at the door, he's not going to change. He's saying himself, he's like, nah, man, if you let me out of here, I'm doing it again. And they're like, you sure about that? Was prison not enough? He's like, nah, give me more prison.
Yeah.
Give me more thing. There's some no change people. I find that absolutely wild.
Especially if he'd spent a long time, a long time in solitary confinement.
Yeah, you
like
got
a long time
mull
just
over it,
thinking
think about
about
it.
what you've done. And he's come out of there like, could kill again.
Yeah. I actually miss it.
Yeah, still feel like if someone pissed me off, I'll take him out.
Yeah. It's absolutely mad.
I remember like swearing when I was a kid, and my mum washing my mouth out with like fucking Marmite. And
you washing out with Marmite?
yeah, because like, what was the normal thing to do it with? Like, it was whatever it was.
Dish soap.
Yeah, and I remember like bubbles coming out of my mouth, and I thought it was funny. So I was there like, shit, with the dish soap in my mouth the first time I did it. And I was like, shit, fuck. And then she got the Marmite out, put some Marmite in my mouth, and I was like, nah, I'm never swearing again.
You hate it that much?
I hate Marmite. It's so bad. That was like 7 years in fucking solitary confinement.
Seven seconds in hell. You probably have Vegemite though, right?
I can have Marmite.
Oh yeah, they can.
Is Vegemite like the Australian version of Marmite?
Oh right, okay, yeah.
Probably inferior.
Shout out to Marmite. Not for Joe though.
Nah, miss me with that.
Right, okay. So he's been asked a question. And the question is, what would you be doing if you weren't too busy killing people and being in prison? Basically, right?
Oh, I'd be tattooing.
He'd be tattooing. We actually have some of the artwork that he has on there as well. But I haven't actually got them on this computer, but we'll stick them in. I'll stick them in the video over as we're talking about it now. Some of the artwork that is from his prison, from him in prison, and you can see that, he is an artist. Like, he does that work. It's very like 90s kind of like, not trad work, but getting into that realm of that.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's very stylized in that sense. But there's also a letter from his lover.
Oh.
Yeah, which she has a little tattoo design on as well that he's drawn on, a little heart with her name. It's not, it's not that good, but he's too busy murdering and not focusing on his career.
Don't say that in case he does get out.
And come for a guest spot in the shop.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Oh, I think it's great.
Yeah, I'd be like, have you seen AI these days? That was someone else. That was someone else pretending. I don't know what that is.
I think your artwork's fantastic. Please don't kill me.
Yeah.
Mike said it.
I don't want to go night-night, bitch.
Yeah,
please.
I've slept enough.
Yeah.
I'm good on the sleep.
Yeah, so there would have been those clips there. You're going to have a little look at what he had.
But I would be in a tattoo shop or I'd be painting murals. I would have carried on with what I was doing because I was good at it. Tattoo designs for military people, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And, overseas while they were waiting, fighting, and see if I could get to do something like that or teach people watercolor. But that's what I would be doing. I'd still be involved in that, or I'd be on a horse farm somewhere. Yeah, that's exactly what I'd be doing. But at the same time, I'd still be that same person that if you trip my trigger, if I caught you being a bully, more or less.
If I caught you being a bully.
The guy can't even talk about something he likes doing without turning it into something murdery.
Yeah, I know. Imagine him working on a horse farm as well.
Yeah.
There'll be some poor horse apprentice coming there. It's the start of a killer movie. They're broken down at the side of the road. Hey, mister, can you help me? And he turns around and is like, where are you city kids from?
Does anybody know you're here?
Like, oh, he was weird. Looks the girl up and down. And he's like, and then the boyfriend's like, maybe we should get out of here. And then they get back to the car. That guy's going to kill him.
They get back to the car and then the engine won't turn.
Yeah. And he's there with the thing.
Because of horror movie magic, he's cut the fucking engine out.
Yeah. He'll get you.
Oh, yeah.
So, you're right. He was trying to explain about how much he loved tattooing, all that stuff, and he couldn't help but just slip at the end.
Yeah, just like...
But if you did do anything while I was doing that, I'd murder you.
Don't
Like,
forget.
bro, dude.
I'm a bit murdery.
Dude, just for a couple of minutes. Don't mention the killing.
Chill, bro.
It's the parole hearing.
It's supposed to be fun.
We're meant to be. That's not in the job application. Yeah. You can kill tattoos. You can fucking kill it, but don't kill them.
He's took that so literally. Yeah, you're killing it, man.
Yeah, it's like, damn, I'm at the bar killing it. I'm at the horse ranch killing it.
I'm in the woods killing it. Yeah. I'm killing it everywhere.
Jesus Christ, what an absolute psycho, right?
I kick that ass. I don't tolerate idiots. I don't like bullies. There's no reason to be bullied. I'm a grown man. I can get in it with the biggest, baddest guy on the planet. Why do I need to bully anybody lesser? Does that make sense? You know what I mean? I hate people like that. And I know everybody. I know what I'm doing. I know who I'm fighting. And it's not. It's not right to these people that end up in what should be a simple bar fight with me, and I end up getting their skull. They're going into a simple bar fight. I'm going to get them. It's due to my mental issues. But anyways,
How's that? Not good, dude. Where do I start?
Anyone who says they don't tolerate bullies, has been doing a bit of bullying. And the guy saying he doesn't tolerate bullies, and then busting into the shop and shooting his apprentices with paintball guns.
Sounds like he's bullying.
Yeah, tolerate yourself.
Yeah, bro. That's wild. You are a bully, bro. Yeah. And you've become everything you hate.
Yeah.
You've lived long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Oh, tell him.
Shout out to Batman.
Oh shit.
Yo, what? Wait, what is this? This is the response to the question where someone asks him, what's your favorite kill? That person needs to be locked up as well.
Yeah.
So whoever done that, check yourself.
The kill's not the favorite. It ties somebody down and fuck their world up. You know what I mean? And have your way with it. Somebody stole something from my tattoo shop. Some other things. And then this idiot has the audacity to come into the shop late one night when I was there by myself. And I strapped him down and beat the holy fuck out of him. Played with him, stabbed him, had a good time. All the while telling him that, bitch, you made my wife cry because something got stolen out of my shop. Simple as that, you know what I mean? The kill's simple, but because you can't let him go, I would have preferred to let him go and walk around and tell everybody in the world, I stole from you, exactly. Motherfucker. You know what I mean? That would be one of my favorites, and
bruh.
I don't know how to react to that.
These guys are just coming to his tattoo shop. They're trying to steal something. It sounds like, and he's just his normal response is just to
kill him down, stabbed him a bit,
had a good time. That's what he said. What? Call the police.
Yeah.
Call the authorities. What the hell, man? Let them steal your bench. It was a bench. Let them steal it.
but like I said, the regret is I couldn't have let him live because he's going to tell. They're going to tell. Anybody that we're so trained nowadays that anybody that is a threat to us, we call somebody to save us. The cavemen didn't have no fucking body to call.
Oh.
So they must have had pretty good manners. There was somebody to call to pull somebody up off of. Death was around the corner. And nowadays, if I'd have done something like that, that dude would have ran to the police, and then got victims of crime money. So the motherfucker's got to go sleep. It's over. You know, he's got to go to sleep. That was a good one. And then,
You got to go to sleep. This next part is really eerie, right? Because this is talking about, obviously, where he's come out from beating the woman with the branch in the woods.
Yeah.
Right? Listen to this.
until I got in my shop.
Oh, sorry, no, it's not.
They were cool because it was 2 in a row right there within 3.5 minutes.
This is him talking about the people in the shop still. And he gets them, where he says, in 3.5 minutes. That's how quick it's over for them. 3.5 minutes, you're done. Your life has changed. You've walked into a tattoo shop, tried to steal something. 3.5 minutes later, you're in the clouds.
Yeah.
How are you killing people that quick? Like, that shows you how like fragile it is. No wonder Brian was scared to say anything when you can see, like, you never really think about it being that long, right? When you see a film and there's a scene and they're dramatizing it and there's this long kind of scene for it.
Struggle back and forth.
Yeah, no. He's just in there straight up, bomb. Straight upstairs, bomb. 2 of you in 3 minutes.
Damn.
Yo, what?
I got the one and I went right upstairs and got the other. And that was pretty cool. And,
that was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, really cool. Yeah, real cool.
No, cool is doing a kickflip.
Yeah. Cool is being in a rock and roll band.
Yeah, like being in Kiss.
Yeah.
Being a wrestler, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Being a tattoo apprentice, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Unless you're at this guy's shop.
Yeah. He could have owned a shop and people would have went, he would have went, I own a tattoo shop. And they would have went, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Not killing some guys.
Yeah.
So this is the clip. So sorry for that little intermission bit, but this is the clip. So he's come out the woods. He's saying how thrilling it is, basically.
walking out of the woods 5 minutes after killing somebody and having a police car pull up and them talk to you and me talk my way out of getting in trouble without giving them a good explanation or any explanation at all why I just come out of this woods, that was pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting doing that, you know. But yeah, that's I guess the best. That's the best way to explain it. I don't have any that I actually like more than the other. I like the events leading up to them or around it, but the actual killing, you know, shit like that, you know, that's all mechanical. It's putting an animal, it's putting a horse to sleep. You know, same thing with choosing, deciding this animal has to go to sleep, it puts the fuck to sleep.
Putting a horse to sleep, so you can't work on a horse ranch.
Yeah, like, stop putting things to sleep.
Yes. You can't even be left with the horses. Bro.
Simple as that. You know? So it's all mechanical. Then you gotta toss them to get rid of the body. You know? It's harder to get rid of a body than it is to kill somebody. If anybody's out there listening right now and you want to go to the house and somebody's really irritating you, it takes 9 seconds to yoke somebody out.
It takes 9 seconds.
Guys recording PRs.
He's literally giving you advice. These viewers. That's the kind of weird thing about that podcast. These viewers, some advice. Like we're doing tattoo advice.
Yeah.
You know, advice on apprenticeships, whatever. And it's crossed over to this crimes episode. You know, now because of this story from an apprentice. He's handing out advice on how to be a serial murderer.
The most efficient murderer possible.
Yeah.
9 seconds, you need to be done.
You need to be done and out of there, and you need to be, you know,
Like
tying them up.
Formula One precision.
It's a crazy guy.
They wrap the belts around their neck. They're dead. It's over. It's that simple. A 5-year-old little kid can catch you drunk and catch you and get you. It's that easy to kill somebody. You know, and everything else is hard. Keeping your mouth shut, making sure you didn't leave any witnesses, making sure you don't, you know, get any clues, making sure you don't get drunk.
Well, he didn't do a good job of keeping his mouth shut. He told Brian, our main man Brian,
Yeah.
that he fucking killed a guy.
He wasn't that good at covering it up either because he's in jail.
Yeah. So he can't be handing out advice.
Yeah. Oh, fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here, loser.
And telling yourself any of that shit, that elite DNA, what the fuck, man? My fingerprints, wait a minute, who saw me? That shit'll eat at you, but it's all of these things make you high, too. They're all at different aspects of a high. There's so many elements of a high around it. There's so many elements of a high.
I don't know what that scream was in the background. Probably
He's doing it again. He's
Right.
doing it again.
There's so many elements of a high, he's saying. I got high one time. I didn't do that. I just ate a load of food. Chilled in the garden.
The only person sleeping was me.
Yeah.
Fucking great.
Amsterdam, sitting on that boat. I'm going to be asleep in a minute, and not in that way. In a nice, pleasant,
not murdery sleep.
I got crisps on my shirt.
Yeah.
I'm not moving them.
Those little
I'm
waffle
too
things you get
high.
that you put over the hot drink.
Oh, yeah.
It was great. No one died.
He's talking about something else.
Yeah.
He's saying that the high is like that. No, man.
No, it's so different.
We've all been high, bro. Stop it.
The different types of high. Did I get away with it? Did I leave a cigarette butt? Did I, what the fuck? All of these things they give you different elements of high. And if your mind's weak, I guess you're paranoid anyways, that you would tell on yourself. So, anything else?
Anything else? No, Otto. Thank you for sharing that with us. I feel so much better about our conversation. And that was him. And again, if you want to get that, if you want to listen to him, it's the Unforbidden podcast. Okay? So check that out. I'm sure not all the guests are strange on there, but some of the questions are.
Yeah, I think it's a very different audience for that sort of thing. Like, they're really into that sort of stuff anyway.
Yeah. So, it's just a crazy story. This is a crazy story. This is not what tattoo shops are like. We're obviously giving you the most extreme version.
Yeah, that's the point we were trying to make. Like, if your apprenticeship's like that, then you should probably look for an apprenticeship somewhere else.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's other things, But no, if there's any kind of sign that your boss is a psychopath, he's abusing you in some way, it's time to get out. That power trip thing between the boss to be like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to humiliate them.
Yeah.
To kind of put them in the place. Miss me with that.
Yeah.
You don't have to put up with that. There's no higher thing to get yourself. If there's a situation you feel like you shouldn't be in, do like Brian and get yourself out of there.
Shout out to Brian, because he's out there killing it now.
He's out there killing it, doing some good tattoos. He had to go for that horrific story. And he's come out the other side. And he was a little bit nervous about putting it out, I'm not going to lie. But
I can imagine. Yeah,
he gave the green light. So that's all good. But yeah, we're going to be getting back to you with some other stories. We've had a bunch of them come in. But if you have any stories, I'm sure there's not going to be many that would top that. But, maybe there is. I did read a couple of more articles about some other people that were like, But hit us up, join the Patreon. You can send I Her Everywhere on Instagram messages and on the comment on the YouTube. We will see the things. We'll reach out to you. We could shout out your work, promote you. If you want to stay anonymous, we'll do that.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I want to do the YouTube thing and be like, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell. I've always wanted to say that.
Yeah. Make sure you do it for my boy. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you.
See you next time.
See ya.